Hello, you guys. So today we are going to be looking at closing doors. I know I said I wanted to do a lot more closing doors, but the family got sick last week, and I'm mom first always. So I did get sick a couple days, but I am a super trooper. So I conquered that crap, and I've been taking care of the kids. So I still have one homesick, but you know what? They'll be all be home for Christmas break after today anyway. So we are looking at today. I want to focus on, I know I was focusing on closing the door last time. It was career-wise. This, I've been getting this about healing, healing, healing. And so that's why I have this inner child healing out, because it's closing the door on that part of your healing. I feel like you will always heal. You'll always go through a healing process. But I think what God wants you to know, what the universe wants you to know, is that you've done it. You've gotten through this healing, and it's okay to close the door on it. It's okay to say, I have healed this. Open to feel, love, and commit. And this to me speaks, I'm going to grab two different things, because I want to do, since this is a general reading, not everyone will resonate with this part. And so this to me is to do with relationships. Open to feel, love, and commit. And that says that you have healed that wound of heartbreak, of regret, of bad relationships, of picking bad partners. You've healed that wound, that you did choose bad partners, that you did choose people that did not fit for your highest good. And the thing is that's what you're closing the door on. You're closing the door and thinking that you're not ready to step into a relationship or be in a commitment because of that wound. You know, those relationships didn't work out because, there was some wounding that needed to be healed. And those relationships, even though they might have been traumatic or terrible or not such great experience, you still learned something from them. You still got something out of it. You got what you don't want in relationships, how you will speak up for yourself, how much you will put up with, what kind of person you want in your life, So it brings out that, and so I feel like you're closing the door on not being in relationships and not being in commitments because that fear of it not working out. And yes, you might get in a relationship and you will see, if you've done that healing and that person's not for you, you'll recognize it and you'll know it's okay. You know what? You tried. You went. You failed. You tried to love that person. You try to see if it would work out, and it didn't. And you're okay with that, because you're okay with accepting, loving, and knowing that, okay, I'm not going to get off. I'm not going to just give up on love because I was hurt or it didn't work out. Okay. And another one we have is favorite childhood memories. Okay. And I know what this is. Oh gosh, yeah. Another thing as healing is constantly going back into the past of, like, I remember when it used to be like this, and feeling safe in that place. And it's okay to feel safe in your memories, but we can't live in our memories. We don't. That has happened. That has gone by on your timeline. You don't live here. You live now, and you can't think about, like, the future, like, oh, this is not going to work out, because you don't live in the future either. You live now. You are living presently. So you're trusting that you can bring in the right relationship, and you're letting go of how things used to be, how things were when maybe you're in a place or with someone, or it seemed like relationships were a lot simpler, and things were a lot simple in your life. But it's saying, this to me is saying, you can step into your future and be okay, and you can let go of the past, of holding on to it so tightly. As you can kind of see, she's holding on so tightly to what used to be, and letting that go, because sometimes that's very Saturning, where you don't want to let go of old ways. Okay, you have to. It's time to step into letting in something new and different. Okay, so let's get some tarot cards on what's going to help lead, what's helping you lead out of this, because that's what you're doing, and the universe wants you to. I got one that flew out at me. I shuffle. Yeah, Five of Cups. Like, yeah, looking at things from the past, like it did not work out. A lot of regret, a lot of disappointment. And as you can kind of see, she reminds me of like of a wedding dress. So kind of like even if you've been in like a marriage and gone through divorce, of like not wanting to love again because of that, or even going through where you were engaged and it didn't, and it fell through and it did not work out, or being in a committed relationship for so long and it went nowhere. There is still love within yourself, like sitting up. To me, that's, when you have these two cups with the Five of Cups. Yes, these are broken cups, and this is over and done, and regret, and water under the bridge. But you have these two cups to pull up to yourself and have a cup of tea with yourself, and finding that moment to love yourself. Here we have the Tower. This is really interesting because we have a 5, and then we have this Tower, which, so 5s are about struggles and changes. They're in the middle when it comes to tarot. So you have this, and then you have this Tower, sudden change. Something makes you probably look up at these cups. Like, it brings you out of this energy. This Tower is going to bring you out of this energy. And then we have the 5 of Coins, which we have more energy of. This is feeling left out in the cold, and like, oh my gosh, I have nothing in this world. It's just me. I have no one. And ooh, that's not a wonderful note to leave on, but it's to me, it's leaving these thoughts out in the cold, leaving, you're having this moment, this Tower moment, with these thoughts, because this is healing. This is letting go of thinking that you're scared to jump into relationships, and that's what this is on. And you're going to leave that. It's time to leave that. It's time to walk away from that. It's time to change that. Change. All this is change. Okay? This is change. This is disruption. This is, it's time to let go of feeling. And it's wonderful because we have the Alchemist on the bottom, which is the Magician, with this one saying it is time to start fresh, getting a fresh set of eyes, getting a fresh set, peeling back the layers on your heart, getting a fresh start on your heart space, where you're first, remember I said having a cup of tea with yourself, and that's just having that self-love, and then loving yourself. Wow. Loving yourself and committing to yourself. I have 7 is very important in this reading for some reason as well. I have a 7 here. I have 7s up here. This is a 7. Here's a 7. This makes 7. There's a 7 right here. I have a lot of, so it's, and at the freaking bottom, I have this 7 right here. And 7, yeah, there's 7 right there. What is up? 7. So you might be seeing 777 or the 27th, the 27th, the 27th of this month as well. So going back, I get messages through numbers. I that's how I talk sometimes. Um, Going back to letting this go, letting go of not being in this energy of I've healed. I can be open to relationships, and we have a ring, so you can be open to commitment. Remember, we have commitment right here. Yes, you can be open to a commitment. Remember, I talked about this wedding dress again, and as you can see, the circle you have with a wedding ring, it's going over this cycle in your life of relationships. It cycles over, and it's coming. You're going to go back around with that magician. You're starting back over again to show you that you do know how to be in a relationship. That you can celebrate it, and that you can with this letter as well. Getting something finalized, getting something written out, getting a messages to yourself or messages to someone you love. And also, to me, with this letter, I know sometimes they have because I read intuitively, they do have their regular meanings, right? But to me, with this letter, it's to use the letter as a healing step is to write a letter to yourself, I feel, or writing a letter to the person who hurt you so that you can write them a letter about how they hurt you. And you don't even have to give it to that person. You can just write it and then burn it or throw it in the trash or bury it. There's multiple things that you can do with that, but like a letters are all about messages. And so the message is for you to, step up, okay? And step up to relationships, step up to commitments, like I said, because the ring is about partnerships and relationships as well, and commitments and marriage as well. So those are the basic meanings. And so coming out and saying, writing a message to yourself, writing a message to that person who hurts you, and releasing that and letting that go, because you are at a time where it's asking you to let this go, that you feel that you cannot be in a relationship. Okay? It's time to close the door on thinking that you're not ready for a relationship. That's what this is what this closing to. We are closing the door. It's not like I said, it's not for everyone. Everyone's not closing the door on this, because some people are in partnerships already and they're just fine in their partnerships, but some are not. And these are for the people who have been struggling in relationships, or have a hard time committing to relationships, or trusting a relationship, because they've been hurt and burned so many times in the past. And it's time to let that go. It's time to change this. It's time to shake this up, okay? That's the message. That's what we're closing the door on. Some of you are closing the door on. Not everyone, like I said. So you're closing the door on feeling that you're not good enough, that you cannot be in a relationship, that you're not ready, that you will be hurt, that all of those things. You're letting go of that. It's time to let go of that, okay? That is the healing message. I am going to be doing another healing message this week for sure, because I don't feel like that. I feel like healing is here to stay, but there's new healing for you as you go through the year. And so this is their healing that they're done with. And yes, you will cycle back around that, because just like everything in life, you cycle back around things, and you just go back over it to see, okay, that didn't work this time. And as you go through those cycles, you go through them faster as you heal more. And so I will be doing another healing one this week coming out for closing the door on, because I know some other people have closed doors on, are needing to close doors on other types of healing. And this is not it for everyone. This is just for a certain group. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.